Bit of re-engineering here. We took out that system because he's got the K&K system in. So I made that replacement saddle, two of them actually, and I took out the plastic risers that were in. They really just serve as a gasket. So now that goes in tight against the rosewood. Same deal on this side. Here's the other half of that pickup. So I made a new replacement saddle, and it goes right down tight against the rosewood floor. And now we got that intimate contact as the string pressure pushes the saddle down tight against the rosewood floor of the slot. I also opened up these string pin holes to get a little bit more pressure right on that focal point. Now there were a few other things that had to be addressed with this guitar. So let me bring you in. Now that truss rod was jammed right tight. I couldn't budge it using the short leg of the wrench. You have the curve on the end of the fingerboard. So in order to loosen that truss rod off, because it was jammed right tight, I got a little bit more leverage just using that socket wrench to turn that. So the reason I'm adjusting the truss rod is we need to get the lay of the neck perfect before we do our fret dress. And it does need a fret dress, and I'll bring you in for a closer look at that as well. So I freed up that truss rod and got that lay of the neck as straight as we could get it. But there are multiple spots. Yeah, there are multiple spots all over the neck. When I breeze over that with a leveling file, you'll see all those spots that I've chalked. You'll see them light up. Another good reason to take the nut out so that we can go full length. We've got the weirdest looking compensated nut I've ever done. Anyway, so the nut is out, the compensated values, everything is done on that one, and now we're ready to level. I always start at the top end of the fingerboard and just breeze very lightly, moving obliquely over the crown of the frets. Yeah, I can feel that wrap, and I'm going to bring you in for a closer look when I finish leveling. You'll see what I mean. So I already got these high spots. It's funny because the center of the fret was fine. It was the outside, bass side and treble side on this one that needed some attention. You know, you can use your ears as much as your eyes, you know, when you're doing this leveling, because you can hear the file go from that sort of crunching grab to a whisper once you've arrived. And we're just about done. I mention this every video, but I have to mention it again. When you're leveling, move obliquely across the crown, and then you can kind of cross hatch like so, and like so. But you need to make sure that you keep the file in line with the string path, so don't turn it. I'm going along the string path, even though I'm moving across the crown obliquely like that, I'm keeping the file in line with the string. Okay, let's get our little straight edges out again. Nothing there. Get our little one here. Nothing. 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 That's got it. Nothing there. We got that one. Got this one. We're done. It's level. So it's level, but we're far from done. All those spots that I marked with the chalk took the biggest hit. And you can witness that because those crowns in those spots are squared off. So now we just whisper across those with the crowning file, being careful not to touch the center of the crown. We're just taking that sharp edge off the frets from the leveling. Yeah, that one definitely took the biggest hit. This one took a pretty good hit here too. You can see where that chalk is. So I'm careful. I'm just narrowing the tooling swath of the leveling file, but not touching the center of the fret. Yeah. Okay, and now we're ready for the next stage. Well, it took a few minutes to mask off that inlay, and now we're ready to clean this one up. One of my subscribers recently asked, what do I need to do fretwork? Well, you need to support the neck, and in the case of the GPS, you're supporting the body and the neck simultaneously. These blocks slide and eliminate the flexing of the neck while you press down and do your level up. So this is 400 grit. We're taking out all those marks of the file. I've got my 600 grit. These are the blocks that you guys get in your kits. This is the 600 grit. Another round of 600. I've got another piece of paper on here, another 600 piece. So basically 4 times 6, and then we'll go to the emery cloth and buff. Here's our emery cloth. Slip it over a little bit and get a little bit more use out of that paper. Second piece of emery cloth. A little bit of jeweler's root. And we're ready to buff. So check this tuning out. So I guess this is a tragically hip tuning that he uses in this hip tribute band. I don't know what I would play on this thing. I'd have to... And this is where we ended up with this compensated nut. Crazy. So the G string and the A string have the largest amount of displacement. This is where the compensated nut ended up for this thing to be perfectly in tune, end to end. Open string, 12th fret, 7th fret, corresponding octave. And by the way, this is set up for EJ16, 12 to 53. Of course, the 53 isn't there. I was bound and determined to be able to set this up for an off-the-shelf string that Mike can pick up anywhere, anytime. So we'll bring it into the studio, plug it in. I have no idea what I'm going to play on this thing, but we'll see. that's all you're going to get out of me in this tuning. I'll have to get Mike to actually show me what he plays on this thing. I'm sure there's hip fans out there that probably recognize the sound of this tuning. This also has that K&K system. As you saw earlier, we pulled the Takamine system out, and it's just 3 transducers underneath the bridge, no battery. So this is, again, just straight into my lab series.